And they have mastered Ganesha. Now ask them, they'll tell you all the chakras, everything. All this knowledge is here in this country of ours. All these beautiful jewels are here. When we are in the midst of people not familiar with Sahaja, can we mentally imagine the form of Reverend Mataji instead of keeping her photo in front? Of course, you can. This my photograph sometimes is used in very funny places. That should not be such. It's not a protocol. It should be used in a place where you are with people who are Sahajogis, or in your houses, homes. You shouldn't use them everywhere. Now this is a dangerous question. Does non-vegetarian food affect the sadhana? Is vegetarian food is preferable? Now if I say anything, you are going to be angry. But I'll tell you. In Sahaja Yoga, you are not supposed to eat any flesh of a bigger animal than yourself. If you are vegetarian, you could be vegetarian. If you are non-vegetarian, you can be non-vegetarian. But depends on what sort of a personality you are. Supposing you are a right-sided person, you better be vegetarians. But if you are left-sided, it's better to take to proteins. So we talk in proteins and carbohydrates. Take any kind of proteins. Now we Indians don't eat any proteins. Except for idli, I don't think we eat any proteins. That too we have rice in it. Proteins must be eaten by Indians. I am of that opinion because we have become so weak. As it is, we are so frightened of income tax, this tax, that tax. Plus we are so weak because we eat absolutely insipid food. So we should eat nourishing food, especially proteins in any form, but not the animal which is bigger than it. Like people eat horses, I don't know what else they eat, anything, elephant I think. For everyone, there is no prescription. According to your nature, you should eat. I mean, so many people don't do Sahaja Yoga when I say this. Just imagine. They miss their Atma Sakshatkara because of this. I mean, how did you become a vegetarian? Because your mother was a vegetarian. What else? From where did you learn vegetarianism? Supposing you were a Muslim, then you would have eaten somebody's heads also. So luckily you are born in a Hindu community, but we go too far with it. Morning till evening. I mean, this ritualism is so much in Madras also, that they told me Mother Sahaja Yoga can never work in Madras. I said, why? Because people are not at all Sahaja. In the morning they must get up at 4 o'clock, have their bath, go to the temple, come back. If one day they don't do it, then the whole day they are like mad people. Thinking they have committed the greatest sin. This routine must be done. There is no routine in Sahaja Yoga. It's a living process. There is no routine in living process. Whenever the flower wants, it will flower. So why kill yourself with these rituals? This is our problem in the Hindu religion. Same with the Christians. I mean, everybody is competing. God has created this world for us to enjoy. I tell you, if you give up this, you will be very much absolutely relaxed. Forget it. At the most 5 minutes in the morning, Sahaja Yoga meditation, and 10 minutes in the evening before sleeping finished. For that we have a center. You go and see them. That's all. The rest God will do for you. Now this is a nice question. So what is the final realization in sadhana? How should one proceed in that direction after he feels the vibrations in his head and palms initially? That's good. That means you have felt it, Mr. Subramaniam, and I'm happy to know about this. But I would say that you have to come to our center and proceed with it. But we don't talk of the future. We talk of the present. Slowly you will be surprised how you are rising, how you are really getting all the powers in yourself. You yourself will realize, and you will be amazed. I mean, you will be surprised. Some people I have met after one year. I have a very good memory, but I could not recognize them. Now this gentleman is here and he's something personal problem. Poor thing. He went to this Navali of Hatha Yoga and is suffering. This Hatha Yoga is another funny stuff. If you read Patanjali, you will know it's Ashtanga Yoga. Out of this exercises, we bit of that is so important. Anybody can come and teach you Hatha Yoga. Unless and until he is a realized soul, he has no right to teach you anything. What I have said today is Niruchara Samadhi, Nirvikalpa, all is written there, and he calls all this all-pervading power as Ritambhara Pragya. Somebody teaches you something, finished. People are running like mad, jumping like mad. You become right-sided, then you get heart attacks. Now this gentleman has a problem, but I assure you, you will be all right. You take to Sahaja Yoga, it's very simple, it will give you balance, you will be all right. Then Hatha Yoga, then going Gayatri Mantra. You become more right-sided. Learn what is needed for you. For a person who is right-sided, you have to have bhakti. Those who are left-sided have to have this. You have to give balance to yourself. And it will really give you such a joy. Otherwise, if there is some Hatha Yogi, you better approach him with a barge pole. God knows when he will slap you, like Durvasa. It's very dangerous people. They don't know what is love is. They don't know what is mother is. There's no talk of love. Is self-awareness a prerequisite to practice on progress of realizing Kundalini Shakti? No. After realization, you become self-aware. Nothing is needed. Now, for example, people go on telling you have committed this sin. All right, pay so much money to me, and all your sins will be finished. I tell you, put him to the police. To me, nobody is a sinner. You are my child. Nobody is a sinner. You have committed no sins, no wrong, nothing. You were mistaking something. You went into darkness. Or I can say that you were ignorant at the most. I don't like to call any human being as a sinner, except for they are Rakshasas. Of course, there are Rakshasas, then they are already branded. You don't have to say. They are already there. So this self-awareness is what you have to get. We are not self-aware. By doing it, we cannot. When we say, I have to be self-aware, now I have to be self-aware, I have to go inside, what are we using our ego? It's a happening. when you achieve that state, not human state, but a state of a yogi, there at that state, you have self-awareness and you respect yourself. You have your self-esteem. But you don't show off, you don't become cheapish person. He says that, Mother, I have recently started meditating in the Sahaja way and I feel absolutely fresh and beautiful all the time. Though Mother would very humbly say that the energy is our own, I have never felt this energy before. Mother, so kindly let us know if we are re-linked to the God or the main source, and that is the reason why we feel full of energy throughout. Of course you are feeling because you are re-linked, no doubt about it. But you don't feel any energy because you must be a very good man. When there is obstruction, then only you feel a little problem. Like a smooth landing, you don't feel. If you get a smooth landing in Sahaja Yoga, means you are a very nice person, very good man, righteous man. Just smoothly you land. There's no obstruction, nothing. You have no imbalances, you are in the center, no problem. But if you have problems, then the Kundalini little bit moves, comes down. And that's why you don't feel. Those who have problems do feel a little pain sometimes here. But if the Kundalini just rises up, know that you are righteous, you are good. Is the term God given to all unexplainable questions as an explanation? No, no, no. In Sahaja Yoga, everything is explained and can be proved, pramana. Has anyone seen, heard, felt or realized his ultimate control? Master, owner, decision maker. Of course, so many of them. Don't you know? There are so many. Does the final authority lives outside every man, or does it reside inside everyone? He is reflected in everyone. But the reflection cannot be the object. But the reflection can be equal to the object, depending on the reflector. If anyone has realized the ultimate truth, why did he die? These are big things he has asked. You see, I think the gentleman who is asking me this question, I would ask him, first of all, you get your realization. He is quite confused, gentleman. You see, just now, what is God? What is death? What are you? Find out first. Who is asking this question? He is asking from our center. Oh my God. It's interesting, that he's asking from our center all these questions. That means he's too much thinking. It's wrong to say that God is in good. I think he's done too much reading. That's the problem. First you know the reality, my child, then all these questions will disappear. Nirvikalpa. I was talking about ideal good and all that. It's definitely true that man lives only once. Is wrong? Who told you that? He does? But if you believe in that, I cannot help it, but it's not so. And that to be good and to be righteous is not the end of your search. Dharma is the balance that gives you the balance. But balance for what? Dharma for what? We should ask the question. Why should we be dharmic? Why not be adharmic? Why not ask such a question? It's logical. Why do all this? Dharma. Because you have to rise. Say an aeroplane is not balanced, how will it rise? But supposing it is only balanced and never rises, what's the use of making an aeroplane? So you have to be dharma atit. You have to go beyond dharma. You have to go beyond gunas, guna atit, crossover. Then dharma becomes part and parcel of you. You don't have to tell yourself, don't do this, don't. No, you just don't do it. Try anything. I'll tell you my own example. You know, I have a double life. My husband is you must have known about him. He's a big boss of something. And I've lived with all that nonsense all my life. When he went to England, they asked him, why don't you have dancing with us? He said, because my wife doesn't dance, I don't want to dance. He puts everything on me. It's a very good way of escaping. So they said, no, bring her to London, she'll be all right. You bring her to London, she'll start dancing. He said, you even take her to moon, she will not. So this is what. The dharma is innate. You just don't do it. Not because of conditioning or anything, but it is sahaj. Sahaj you. You just don't do it. No, I will not do that. You will never do wrong things because you will just not do it. So this has to go beyond dharma, means the dharma is part and parcel of gunatit. Means you are beyond gunas. You are neither right-sided, left-sided, central, but you are beyond. What is left, right, center? What is this? Why to hang like that? Better be above. That is what happens to you. So only there are righteous people. Many righteous people came and went away, had no effect on the public. What is needed is your emancipation, your ascent. That's what we have to achieve. Only the good, so-called good. And you cannot establish good, I tell you. Nobody likes to follow a good person. Like in Pune, they were saying everybody eats money. They never eat food. I said, really? So I told my husband, everybody eats money. He was in London. He said, you tell them my husband never took any bribe. So I told them, Baba, my husband never took any bribe. He said, why didn't he take? Who told him not to take? So, what happens is that normally people never follow a person who is good and righteous. Never. But they'll always follow a person who is a little bit like this. The reason is we are coming from animal stage. Easy to go back. But once you are realized, then it's difficult. Because once the flower becomes the fruit, it cannot become the flower. As simple as that. So I say, you come here, all right, very sweetly, and then get your realization. Then I'll talk to you. Then you yourself will say, now, these people who are singing here, some of them were terrible drug addicts. Terrible. They couldn't even see me. They said, we saw only lights coming out of you. Never saw you when they came. In comas. Overnight, finished. Alcoholics, overnight. I didn't tell them. I never tell, don't drink, don't. I never use that word. Let the light of your spirit come in and you are there. I don't have to tell you anything. All habits will drop by yourself. Do you see the point? Because when the light comes in, the darkness has to run away. So righteousness is not sufficient enough. You have to go beyond that. Somebody has written about his friend who has a problem, who fallen down, had an accident. He should go and ask the Sahajogis to help him. Nowadays I don't cure people because there's no need. I'm doing all other nonsensical things. The curing nowadays is done by Sahajogis. There are so many other things I have to see to. So you call anyone, they'll be very helpful and they will do it. It's a good question. Is it possible to cure the suffering and poor with this Sahaja Yoga? Can we get rid of our poverty? We can. By all means. If you stop fasting first. You want to fast? All right, God says, all right, go ahead. You will not get food. Finished. Your wish will be fulfilled. You want to become like a sannyasi? Want to wear torn clothes? All right, have poverty. You want poverty after all, you asked for it. Then you want sufferings, we must suffer. There are so many nonsensical things going on that you must suffer. Then you have suffer. All right. If you want that, you enjoy. You ask for prosperity, you will get it. After Kundalini awakening, you see the center there called as the Nabhi Chakra. And who is sitting there is Lakshmi Narayana. Once Lakshmi Narayana is awakened within you, how can you be poor? But also money has its own problems. You get wealth which is satisfying. But don't ask for poverty. Leave alone you. Now the Westerners have got a great desire for poverty. They wear pants, they said they are holy, means there are holes. Torn pants they wear. In England, imagine such a cold country wearing holy pants, getting varicose veins. And so many nonsensical suffering is going on there. So many. Such a long letter. Just write small one. So, that's going on. And that's how people ask for it. So there is recession in America, recession in England, recession in Spain, crawling into France. Have it. If you want to have poverty, have it. So the Lakshmiji is going to come this side, I think. Some sense is coming into our government, and I am sure it will work out. Hope so. But you take to Sahaja Yoga and you'll be surprised. For example, in England, we have such a lot of unemployment, but not one Sahaja Yogi is unemployed. Not one. At least, with this pralobhana at least, you will take to Sahaja Yoga to begin with. Mother, Sahaja Yoga is for health and joy only, or it is something more. Everything, totality. What do you want? You ask for it. Desire for it. Everything. Says it's not explained to him. You see, just now I'll give you realization, you will see how the chakras are opened out and all that. But later on, if you go to the center, you can know everything in 1 year, you will be all masters. But give some time to yourself, is the point. People are very busy these days. What are you doing? Some ladies told me they're very busy with kitty parties. Here are very few ladies. In Madras, all the ladies must be in the temple, sitting, cutting, shaving their heads. How many educated women also do it? I mean, why should we shave your head? God has lots of hair. You don't have to cut. All this nonsense. Women can be much more Shaktishali than men. But this conditioning of the women of India, God knows. All right, so now we are here, I might be practicing. He's saying, I have been practicing pranayama for 4 years, I don't have teachers, dangerous, very dangerous. If you have no teacher, whether you have teacher or not, pranayama is very dangerous. If you have problem with your lungs or some specific reason, you see, all these vyayamas were given for specific reason, for specific chakras. Now the kundalini is rising. Supposing she stops at your stomach, Nabi, and you are doing pranayama, what's this? You should know where the kundalini is there. For example, today I was coming by car. Now, they stopped me at one point, then at second point. When the car started moving, then only I knew where it is going to stop. Beforehand, how can I do it? In the same way, when kundalini rises, use your brains. Then she stops at a point, and you should know by what vyayama you can put it right. It's very scientific. We to use, but not like all the medicines from the medicine box taking, morning till evening. And that's why they say they develop problems, they do. Huh?
He has been practicing that and he has not had any problem.
You will very soon. It's a very dangerous thing. You see, Actually, we are not only physical being. We don't live only on prana. What's that? I have seen people who practice pranayama. If they are married, thank God you are not married. They divorce their wives. Because there is no love. They're very dry people. Extremely dry. No poetry in their life. Alright? You better start reading some nice poetry. Now he is saying, could you please tell what is right-sided and left-sided? It's quite a long subject. But if you go to Sahaja Yoga, they will tell you. Right-sided is physical and emotional energy, used for physical and mental work. Left-sided is the energy for emotions. Now, for example, he is doing pranayama. He is doing right, he will become right-sided. Only if you do that. When the Kundalini is in the process of awakening, is one getting fear? No, not. She is your mother. She will bear all the problems. When you were born, your mother bore all the problems, all the labor pains. She didn't trouble you, did she? She, poor thing, suffered for it. And once you are born, she forgets everything. That's, my child is born now, finished. Whatever is over is over. That's what is Kundalini. Why should you have any fear? This is people who are telling you that Kundalini awakening is very dangerous and all that because they don't know anything about it. They don't want you to get your realization. What he says is true, that evil exists from time immemorial in spite of several incarnations and sins. It's correct. But there is a solution. So why not seek the solution to get out of evil? Once you are a realized soul, the evil will run away, not you. The time has come for all the evil to run away, to be destroyed, to be exposed, to be finished. It's you who can do it. Everything takes its own time, like the growth of a tree. Slowly, slowly, all these 6 chakras were worked out. Now the question of the 7th chakra is the Sahasrara, which is now worked out in Sahaja Yoga. So the picture is complete. Evil cannot destroy a Sahaja Yogi. They know it very well. Even the evil know that they cannot. If they see a Sahaja Yogi, they run away. So don't you worry. I think I've answered all your questions, most of them. Just one thing. I've been doing this for the last, how many years? 23 years, 21 years. Answering questions. I'm quite now clever. I can answer any question. That's true. But this is no guarantee for your awakening, I must tell you. It's a mental acrobat. So though I have answered your question, doesn't mean that I will raise your Kundalini or Kundalini will rise. That's a separate issue altogether. But I don't want you to have this mind suddenly shooting out and saying that you didn't ask this question so that you be tested. That's why I answer. Otherwise, it makes no difference whether I answer or don't answer. It's something very different. Different area. So now, we are all prepared for our realization.